Hello everybody, my name is Kane Celtic, and Nintendo just dropped their new Direct for June, and I thought it would be an interesting idea to go cover it and just, what's the word for it, give my thoughts on it, I guess, and share my opinions and tell you what I found interesting and what I didn't. People are saying that this is one of the greatest Nintendo Directs in a good while, and maybe of all time. Do I agree with that? It's tough for me to say. I don't think a lot of it spoke to me personally, but I could see the appeal for many hardcore Nintendo fans. But let's get into it right now. The Direct starts with Mario and Luigi Brothership. Now I know people have been waiting for the Mario and Luigi series for like a decade now, so I'm very happy for them. I've actually been meaning to play the older Mario and Luigi games, but of course you can't legally play them on the Switch. I didn't even think you could on the Wii U. Not sure on that, but it's been a while since you could play any of these. Regardless, it's going to be very interesting, and I really like the art style. This is the first Mario and Luigi game to be in 3D, which is very exciting, and the concept brothership, I don't really get it. Like Bowser's Inside Story, I guess that was cool. Paper Jam, I know that game wasn't the best, but the theme itself made sense. With this, I feel like there's no real theme, I guess, and it's just like a slight pirate stuff, but it's really a bit of everything, though that might just be the norm for these games, I'm not sure. But if you are a Mario and Luigi fan, please let me know and tell me your thoughts, because I think it has potential to be a very great game and one of the best games on the Switch. The next game they talked about was the Nintendo World Championship NES Edition. I think this game got, it got leaked or something like that, so I'm already kind of familiar with it. The idea is like cool, I guess, but I'm not really a hardcore NES guy. I like a lot of SNES games, but NES is just not for me, I guess. Not really my generation, I suppose. But, I guess it's there, and kind of reminds me of Mario 99 and F-Zero 99 and whatever 99, which is cool. I like those games at least, so I might check it out, even though depending on how much it costs, I may not get it at all. If you're a hardcore Nintendo World Championship NES Edition fan, then please tell me your thoughts, I guess, because I'm very curious to see how many of those people actually exist. After the NES stuff, we got to see a Fairy Tail game. Fairy Tail was actually the first anime I ever watched, or like the first real anime I ever watched, so that's pretty cool. I never caught up with the series though, so I have no idea what's going on. I think it's kind of cool, I guess. It looks alright, just looks like another anime game, so, not much to talk about there. After the Fairy Tail game, we get to see Fantasian Neo Dimension, and honestly, it just looks like a bootleg Nier Automata, and, it's not a bootleg, it's just the art style looks like Nier Automata. The gameplay looks horrible, so, I think I'm gonna skip this one personally, but hey, I'm sure every game has its fans, so no disrespect to anyone. It also turns out that Nintendo Switch Sports is getting an update, and I'm actually surprised that the game still exists in the first place, as that game was a disaster and a complete flop for good reason. Alright, hashtag not my Nintendo Sports. It's just, I guess it's cool, but I feel like basketball is such an essential sport that they should have just had it at launch, but who knows? Not me. Disney Illusion is getting an update, and all I really know about this game is that it's always on the Nintendo eShop, and I just see it everywhere. It's always like on the front page, and that's cool and all if you're a Disney fan, I guess, but I'm not personally, so oh well. The greatest game ever made though just got announced after this, and it was Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I'm actually a huge fan of Sanrio and Hello Kitty. Okay, well maybe I'm not the most hardcore fan, but I think this is pretty cool, and I'm sure I will definitely have a couple hundred hours in this game. Maybe. Alright? Don't judge me, okay? It looks fun, and Butterscotch probably thinks it is too. After this, we got to see a Looney Tunes game that looks like Mario Strikers. Honestly, I have no real additional comments. I am very surprised that they showed this of all things in a Nintendo Direct, but, you gotta fill up that free time, gotta give us some of the weaker stuff so we can have the good juicy stuff right when we want it, Talking about juicy stuff though, we're getting a huge new Among Us update, which is something. Who doesn't love Among Us? I love Among Us, for however much that's worth. Honestly though, I'm surprised that this game is still going. It's cool that the developers are still working on it, but, I don't think there's much of a fan base for the game anymore, unfortunately. I like the game. I do like the game. It's not the best. Oh boy, we got another farming game after this. A JRPG farming game thing. Isn't that exciting? Yeah, it's not, so let's just move on to the next one. After this, we actually saw a game that I'm really interested in. It's the HD port of Donkey Kong Remastered. Sorry, not Donkey Kong Remastered, Donkey Kong Country Returns. And honestly, this game is amazing, alright? I love this game as a kid. It was like my favorite game on the Wii, so the fact that they're actually bringing it back for, so many years now, I'm very happy. Love this game, and I've been meaning to play it. It's just hard, because you couldn't for the longest time, but now you can. I know people have some complaints that they're not adding much, they aren't really adding any new content besides some levels from the 3DS version, but I still think that's cool in of its own right. And it's not a full-on remaster, but it still looks pretty enough, and I think I'll still enjoy it at least. After Donkey Kong, though, we get to see Dragon Quest. Personally, I've never played any of the Dragon Quest games besides the demo for 11, which is a damn shame because the game actually looks pretty cool. This is a HD 2D remaster, I guess, sort of like, what's that one? Octopath Traveler, whatever it's called. Square Enix makes all of these games. It's cool and everything, and very interesting. I love the art style, made by the Dragon Ball creator who recently passed, so I think it's very cool that we're having more Dragon Quest games that we can actually play in the West, and I think it's very cool and accessible, so I'm excited for that. I might get it, but I don't know. So we're getting part 3 first, and then we're getting 1 and 2 shortly afterwards, and apparently that's because 3 is a prequel. Of course, I know nothing about the series though, so, I could be wrong, but I'm just repeating what I heard, folks. Funko is making a video game that looks completely horrible, looks like a even worse version of Disney Infinity, and as someone who has a lot of Funko Pops and played Disney Infinity as a kid, I feel a great sense of shame and disappointment, and I feel like a failure for having some of these figures, but I was young, I was foolish, okay? It wasn't intentional, but I'm definitely not getting this game at least, and I hope it's alright. I mean, they had a Nope level, which is very interesting because it looks like it's marketed for kids, but they had Nope and Chucky, so that's something. We got to see some more gameplay of Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, which is pretty cool. Luigi's Mansion 2 Dark Moon was actually the first Luigi's Mansion game I ever played, so seeing it back is amazing. I'm just really surprised that they didn't remaster part 1 first, because it feels like it's been ages since you could play that game. I mean, that came out on the GameCube? So I feel like it should have been a 2-in-1 thing, sort of like what they did for Pikmin 1+2. I really like that, but, beggars can't be choosers. I'm just glad we have something at all. Then we get to see Denpa Man, the new Denpa Man. Apologies. I'm gonna be completely honest, Denpa Man, it's not for me. It's not for me. Whatever this is, it makes my brain tickle in weird ways that I don't like, so I think I may have to skip this one. If you're a big fan of the Denpa Man series, though, then kudos to you, because a stronger man would probably run away. Or, not a stronger man, but, someone with less courage as you, alright, would run away. Metal Slug is getting a remaster or something like that, reloaded. I've never played any of the Metal Slug games. I know they're very popular, but it looks cool. Robots, I like robots. It kind of has a nice sci-fi dark element to it, kind of like Warhammer, just slightly though, just slightly, okay? Not heavily. Darkest Dungeon 2 then got a trailer, and honestly it looks pretty cool, or somewhat interesting. A lot of people love the first Darkest Dungeon game. I can never really get into it. Well, I never played Darkest Dungeon 1, but I've been meaning to for a while now, because people just constantly praise it. I'm actually just surprised that part 2 wasn't released yet. I thought it did, but could be wrong. It looks cool though, I might give it a shot. Then Nintendo Switch Online is getting a bunch of new games, which is cool and all, I guess. We're getting a Legend of Zelda game, then a Metroid game, and then for the Nintendo 64, we're getting Turok and Perfect Dark. And, it's cool and everything, but, I still think that the price of the Nintendo Switch Online, the extra membership or whatever is way too much for what it's worth. You know, I don't support piracy and emulation, but there are cheaper alternatives, folks. That's all I'm gonna say. And then after that, you could play Phantom Brave, The Lost Hero. This game is also definitely not for me. A little too, I don't want to say weird, but just a little strange, and seems a little bit more too strategic and JRPG-like for my taste. Unfortunately, you know, I'm sure a lot of people will love it though. Maybe, who knows. It's definitely one of those weaker games just to fill up the time though. Then a game that I'm actually really excited for is the Marvel vs. Capcom collection. Like, this is honestly gonna be amazing though, because you haven't been able to play Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for ages. I've never actually played any of the older Marvel vs. Capcom games besides 3 and Infinite, but those don't really count. So I'm really excited. I'm almost definitely gonna get these games for sure though, so that's exciting. A lot of you know, quality of life stuff, some bonus content, which I'll take. All right, just a nice little thing for those who don't want that the MCU-ified version of Marvel vs. Capcom. A new Super Mario Party game got announced. It's kind of strange because it went Super Mario Party, then Mario Party Superstars, and now back to Super Mario Party and Super Mario Party Jamboree. It actually looks pretty good, very exciting, and I think the Joy-Cons are optional again, like Superstars, over 100 minigames, which is nice, and the new modes look pretty cool, and I also really like the maps. We brought some of the older ones from Mario Party 1 and 2, but I don't know if they were the same or different from Superstars. I'm guessing they're different, that just makes sense, but I never played Superstars, only Super Mario Party, but compared to the original Super Mario Party, this new game looks like a masterpiece, so I might get it, but you know, they make a new Mario Party every other year, so it's not a big deal. Another game that I wouldn't say I'm really excited for, but I'm cautiously optimistic for, is a new Legend of Zelda game. It's a 2D, I wouldn't say it's a 2D remake. It's the same art style of Link's Awakening, but the twist this time is that you can play as Zelda for the first time. If we don't count the Philips CDI game, which no one unironically is going to. But the fact you can actually play as Zelda in this game is amazing, and I hope that they give her a game in 3D this time, or you know, not 3D, but like give us a game sort of like Twilight Princess or the Skyward Sword, but with Zelda. I think that'd be really cool. I wouldn't say Breath of the Wild though, just because, you know, those games are just a lot. Okay, all right. I don't know if Nintendo would be willing to risk not having Link in a game as, you know, huge of scale as those games. But still, I'm very excited to see where Zelda as a protagonist goes in these future roles, and I'm very excited. The game looks cool. I never played the remake of Link's Awakening. I did play the original version on my 3DS, so but I really like it. I love the art style, and I think the new gameplay mechanic's pretty cool. You have the ability to copy and paste things. You know, it seems kind of boring and strange at first, but from the gameplay, it looks like it has a lot of potential, and I can see a lot of cool like puzzle solving and just like puzzles in general, using these strange copy and paste objects. You can like copy and paste water, which I thought was kind of cool. You can also deal with enemies, so you know, there's a lot we're gonna be able to do. I don't know how long this game's gonna be though, but if it's like a good length, like let's say maybe 15 hours. If it's around 15 hours, then I'll probably get it. You know, because that's the only problem with these Zelda games. The 2D ones are just kind of short, which is sort of the point, but still, I'm very excited about this game, and I want to see some more gameplay though, that's all. Just Dance is getting a new game. I think they get a new game every year, literally, so I don't get the point personally, but it's there for those who want it. It's not me though, I hate pop music, so sorry. But let's see what else we have. From one stinker to a probably slightly less stinker, they have a new Lego game. It's the Lego Horizon, or Lego Horizon Adventures, and honestly, it's not for me. Like, I really like the first Horizon Zero Dawn game, but I think it's an industry plant, kinda. Not like an industry plant, but Sony is trying so hard to make Horizon Zero Dawn like this huge IP that's like really family friendly or like universally beloved. But the thing is, like, the games sell well, but not that well. They're not huge. They're not God of War levels. They're not Uncharted levels. But it's the closest thing Sony has to a family friendly IP. that like is open world and has like those beautiful graphics that PlayStation is always marketing. But I don't know. I think this Lego game is strange. I'm not gonna get it. I like a lot of Lego games, but not this one. Which is, you know, I guess it's all up to you. Like, the enemy designs are neat, but the gameplay looks really bad. It doesn't look like a traditional Lego game, which is a damn shame when the last one was, you know, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, which was amazing. After that though, they're porting Shrey, which I thought was already on the Nintendo Switch. I actually played it before on PlayStation, I believe. PlayStation or Xbox, I forget which one. But the game's actually really fun. Not that long, but it's a beautiful game. Very, very engaging. I love the world. I'm waiting for a sequel already. It's nice that you can play it on the Switch though. It really has that Switch vibe to it, I guess, you know? After Shrey, we're getting a Hobbit game, which I believe was shown a bit earlier, but it's still really cool. I've actually never watched any of the Lord of the Rings movies. I have watched the original Hobbit animated movie though, which was pretty cool. Like, I'm not really a big fan of the universe or whatever, or I don't know much about it, I should really say, but I think it looks fun if you're really into it. Looks cozy, looks kind of relaxing, like Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing mixed with that cottagecore medieval vibe, which is nice, you know. Not for me, but I can see it selling pretty well. It'll get its niche audience at least, which is cool. After this, we're getting an Ace Attorney collection game, two games that haven't been released in the West, or at least not yet. Well, at least not before this, sorry. That seemed pretty cool. Miles Edgeworth is a great character, and I'm pretty excited to see where this goes. Alright, I've never actually played any of the Ace Attorney games. I just watch other people play it on YouTube. I'm sorry, but it's really cool that you can actually play these games legally now. And if you saw, there was this one mechanic I saw which is pretty cool. It's words. You can either have it in the pixel art style or like remastered HD style, which is very nice. That option is always cool. It looks cool. Definitely looks like a game that I might be interested in. So that's awesome. After this, there's a new game that's being made by the Danganronpa people. I don't know much about Danganronpa, but I can say that this game definitely looks like a Danganronpa game. So that's cool, I guess. Definitely not for me. Definitely not for me. It's kind of strange, but I guess it's there for those who want it to. Seems a little weird. Gives me like Fire Emblem vibes, but who knows? Just, you know, I hope it sells well, I guess, and I hope the fans of Danganronpa like this game. This is a new IP, so has potential. It's just gonna be a risk though. Definitely a big risk. After that though, we're getting Romancing Saga 2. Revenge of the Seven. I think it's a remaster of an older game, and man, it does not look great. Or maybe it's just me, but the animations look like those Unreal Tech demos, or the Nintendo Hire This Man videos. Like it looks really rough, you know. Like the gameplay itself doesn't look that bad, but I really do think we have to just add some finishing touches to this game before it looks that interesting though. But if you're like a fan of the original series or whatever, or the original version, then I'm sure this is actually really cool though, so I'm happy for you guys. After this though, we got the biggest reveal, the final reveal, the biggest reveal. It was Metroid Prime 4, which was very exciting. It's been like, what, 6 or 7 years since it was announced, I think, something like that. And of course, like the last update we got was, oh yeah, we're scrapping the entire thing so we can just rework on it, which is definitely never a good sign, that's for sure. All right, if someone tells me that, oh yeah, I was making this huge thing, it's gonna be a really big project, but we had to destroy everything because we didn't like it, but we are gonna remake it from scratch. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know how optimistic I should feel about that. And I love Metroid, alright? I think the series is really cool, and I'm very excited to play this game. But I was like, what if it sucks though? But we saw some gameplay though, alright? It wasn't just like a logo or a teaser or anything. Like, no, we saw some full-blown gameplay, and that's really exciting. That's really cool. The game looks really nice. I know a bunch of like famous art directors are working on here. These people made like the Halo games and stuff, and I'm very glad that the game looks good, and I know it's gonna be definitely top 10 best games on the Switch. So I'm very excited for that. It comes out 2025. So it's gonna be great. And I think that's gonna really be like the last game on the Switch before the successor comes out. And I think that is a perfect way to sort of end the legacy of the Nintendo Switch. But honestly, guys, I think that's about it. I think this Direct was actually pretty cool. They had a lot of announcements that I liked. A lot of announcements that I really didn't like or didn't care for it, but that's just because I'm sort of clueless when it comes to a lot of these Nintendo series. I like a lot of Nintendo games, but a lot of these IPs I've just never been able to play before, so giving me this opportunity is actually pretty cool, and I can respect Nintendo for, having all these cooler IPs finally back. But I think that's really it, This is our last Direct until we see the Nintendo Switch successor, which is going to be, jaw-dropping, I guess. Good or bad, it's gonna be a game changer. So that's exciting. I hope you liked the video, and I hope you liked all these announcements yourself. Have any comments or concerns, feel free to comment them down below. If you like the video, feel free to, but don't feel like you have to. And if you dislike the video, that's alright. I think that's about it though, so I'll see you guys later.